Hello everyone, Zaki at Pensaburn Studios again, and I'd like to wish you a happy 2023. Last year was surely an eventful year for Clavum's Adventures. The comic books came out, Season 2 came out, I started doing daily posts on my Instagram, and I finally hit 100 subscribers on my YouTube channel, which is an incredible milestone. But one of the most important things that have happened to Clavum in this last year has been all the fans and friends I've made along the way, and if you're watching this, there's a high chance that you're one of those, so thank you. So now that the comics are out, and now that Season 2's come out, you're probably wondering, well, what's next for 2023? To be completely honest, everything that I released in 2022 was already made at least by the end of 2021 or the very beginning of 2022. All the comic books were written between like 2019 and 2020, and all I had to do was write words in that people could actually read. I finished all of the audio visuals in the span of January to February of 2022, and Season 2's been sat on my hard drive ever since December 7th of 2021. While there were many videos that I made during 2022, like videos such as these, most of the Clavum content I made was pretty much ready from the get-go. In a sense, I barely had to do anything last year, but the same can't be said for this year. Other than like Season 3, I don't have anything that I can just put out onto the internet, and so it's probably going to be challenging to try and keep up with the at least monthly uploads that I used to do last year. But rest assured, I'm going to try and keep that up as much as I can. I can't guarantee that some of the stuff I'm going to say in this video is going to come out, but here are some of the things I have planned. Let's get into it. So last year I saw that a lot of people really liked the comics and the audio visuals, and I'm glad. Looking back on some of those old drawings, yeah, they could do with some work, but I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it. Shout out to my boy Tristan, it was so funny seeing your reactions to this stuff. And while I was originally just going to do 10 issues of the magazine and leave it at that, it got me thinking, I really like making comics. So while I can't do another run of magazines, I've planned to do at least one graphic novel a year. In the grand scheme of things, it makes sense really. In 2021, which was the first year of Clavum, I released the first adventure, and then in 2022, I released all those magazines, which kind of counts as just one big comic, I suppose. And so this year, I plan to release another one. However, it's a lot different this time. The graphic novel I'm working on at the moment doesn't feature the Clavum gang. It's a prequel. As I record this, I'm just about maybe halfway, maybe just a little over halfway done with this graphic novel, but it kind of chronicles how Clavum's dad met Clavum's mum, and the relationship that Clavum's dad had with Mad Mac before they fell out. You may remember in some episodes of Clavum's Adventures, and if you've read the first adventure of course, that Mad Mac knew Clavum's dad and they used to be really close, and that's kind of why Mad Mac hates Clavum in the first place. Well, this graphic novel is supposed to fill in that gap. It's supposed to show us what happened and what made Mac so angry and resentful towards Clavum's father and Clavum as a result. I'm recording this audio on January the 5th, and I'm hoping by, maybe the end of February or the beginning of March, I should be completely done with it. All I'd have to do then is replace my written writing with writing that people can actually read, put it on Patreon, make an audio visual to go along with it, and I should be done with that graphic novel. It's a lot different from your normal Clavum comic books and just dealing with adults, and I'm probably going to have to put a lot of trigger warnings on it. I've learnt my lesson since The Piper. But I hope you enjoy it. It's something that's kind of close to me, because the characters I'm writing about are more closer to my age than the Clavum gang are. So I hope you enjoy it when it comes out, and I hope I can finish it in time. I mean, this thing looks like it's going to be longer than the first adventure. I thought about making another Clavum graphic novel, because the graphic novel I'm going to release this year is not really going to feature the Clavum gang. But seeing as I will barely have any time to do it, since I'm going to have to start the next animated Clavum project soon, I think that's not really viable. However, I do have an idea of what I can do. Like at the end of years, you like go into like a WH Smith's. If you don't know what a WH Smith's is, that's just like a bookshop that I know. If you go into like a bookshop and there's like these like really big books, I don't know if they have them anymore. They're, these things that are like called annuals, and it's like annual 2022, and it's like a big book that's just full of random stuff because it's the end of the year and like grandmas give it to their kids on Christmas or something. You know those. Well, yeah. I want to make a Clavum one. Some days I think I've gone mad with power. I don't have anything nailed down for this annual. It'll probably just go up on Patreon towards the end of this year. But the plan is to cram this thing full of all kinds of Clavum goodies, let's just say. Sort of like character profiles, maybe a map of the town they live in, trivia, facts, but most importantly, a bunch of Clapham stories I can just slap in there. I would basically use the annual as an excuse to write more comic stories, more comic strips, and maybe even some written word stories. Of course, that'll probably come out by the end of this year, but I have high hopes that you will enjoy it, because it sounds really fun to me. But of course, you can't talk about this year without talking about the big one. Ah yeah, that's right. The scoop, the Jimmy, the poop. Clav's Adventures Season 3. I have spent 6 long months animating Clav's Adventures Season 3, and by the time I've recorded this, I've only finished it about a month ago or so, and I have to say that I'm incredibly impressed with how it came out. Of course, I can't talk too much about it, otherwise I'd spoil some stuff, but I really hope you'll look forward to it. I don't think it's as cool or as action-packed as Season 2 was, but I hope you enjoy it regardless, because there is some sort of ongoing story arc, which was something that everybody liked about Season 2, so I hope you enjoy it. Of course, I can make a couple of the teasers and trailers for Season 3, and I haven't made an audio visual of a day in the life of Jason Jones, that's for sure, but there are a lot of other video ideas that I'd like to tackle, such as the making of Seasons of Clapham. This is an idea that Tristan came up with, he kind of made a comment of it on my Instagram, and it's sort of the idea about how I made Seasons 1 or Season 2, or the comics. There are a lot of kooky stories and a lot of funny circumstances that happen during development, so I think it'd be pretty cool to make videos like that. I might also like to use this year as a chance to branch out. I've had this idea of doing a video essay on Superman for quite a while, maybe I'll do that this year. But in the meantime, this is how 2023 is looking. So early in 2023, I'm hoping to release the graphic novel that's currently in development, almost done with it soon, hopefully. Then by the summertime, I'm hoping to release Season 3 of Clav's Adventures. And then by the end of the year, I'm hoping to release some kind of annual or some kind of big thing that I can put on Patreon that can be a sort of a farewell to 2023 sort of thing. And of course, a teaser or two for the next big Clapham project after Season 3. What's that, you may ask? I'm sorry, I just thought of something funny. So I hope you enjoy what I have in store for you. Of course, some things may change and some things may get cancelled, but I'll let you know what happens. Anyway, this is Zaki of Pencilburn Studios, signing out.